Hey everyone, how are you all? Welcome to another video by me, Beyond Astro, okay? Today I'm bringing you the Gemini full moon, which is happening the 27th of November 2023. Now, whenever we have full moons in air signs, for some reason it's never really easy. It really does depend as well. But this is a full moon in Gemini and it's at 4 degrees. And, with full moons, especially, in Gemini, it's obviously going to be very busy. Lots of chitter chatter, lots of gossiping, lots of things to do with like the media, social media, journalism, friends, short distance, neighbors. There's going to be a lot of that going on. A lot of us are going to be letting go of any themes to do with these Gemini themes. But this Gemini full moon is very you can say it's auspicious, but it's at 4 degrees, so it's going to affect all the mutable signs. You mutable signs are getting on blast now. It's anyone who is early degrees, say May of Gemini, August. August. So it's double. This is a double Gemini moon, full moon. Okay, so it can feel quite intense. All the Gemini themes are gonna be played out big time. So, and also if you're August Virgo, if you're November Sagittarius, and if you are February Pisces, this is gonna greatly affect you. This full moon, it opposes Mars in Sagittarius and it squares Saturn in Pisces. So it's not an easy full moon. It's not going to be easy. On one hand, remember this is mutable. So on one hand, it can feel like we are releasing and letting go and just carrying on, being positive. Just moving along, like I've got this in the bag. I'm going to keep it moving. I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to get healthy. I'm going to get fit. I'm going to, learn this language. I'm going to learn this course. But on the other hand, we can also feel very stuck. We can feel very restricted in how we feel. There can be an element of us feeling, some of us can feel quite sad, can feel quite depressed. Some of us can feel quite, that things are just not moving, just like this element of stuckness. And the fact that it does square Pisces, Saturn in Pisces, it's never easy. When Gemini and Pisces sort of get together, for some reason, when they're in a relationship, it's not that it doesn't tend to work. It tends to work, but there's always some riddles that come with it. So this new moon, it can feel like there's going to be, even though Saturn's in Pisces, restricting elements of Pisces, it can also feel that there's going to be, you just never know what's going to come, even though there's restrictions there. We can blurt out but not actually mean it. We could say we're feeling something and we're not feeling it. It's a tricky one. This is a very tricky time. Obviously, the moon rules the people, so it's going to affect all of us around the globe greatly. It's not going to be. It's not going to be a time. Some of us may feel that we are very forgiving, but it's not. It doesn't feel like a very forgiving full moon. It feels like very double. Geminis, they're the twins. It does feel very double-sided, okay? So we have to obviously protect ourselves, protect our aura as best as you can. There's a lot of action happening, guys. And even though regardless, we're getting, especially like the opposition to Mars. So, even where our energy lies, even where our drive lies, is very... It's opposite, but it's also it can be very compromising as well. with Mars being in Sagittarius, it's really taking care of not rushing and pushing too much, because of course Mars rules muscles. So if you just go gong ho in something, it's just, of course, we know what time that could be. So yes, we have to bide our time. We have to take our time. We have to, again, some of us actually, especially if you're Cancer rising, you're gonna Cancer Sun, Moon or Rising, you're gonna feel this. Wherever the moon goes, it flows to you, and it's some of us also will probably feel very emotional, very emotions are running wild. Our emotions are very up and down. We may definitely not know where coming or going. We may have a drive, but things may not come into fruition too. So this full moon, I will say, I think if you're doing any of like the energy work, continue to do it, but know that you have to really sort of like bide your time. Try to be as open as you can, and sort of like see what happens, because I think under this full moon, anything can happen. Okay. I've pulled out some cards, and these cards might be very much interesting for all of us. The first card we have is the Two of Cups, which obviously is about choices that we make, but also it can be like definitely like conflicting emotions we can have under this full moon in Gemini. Some of you may, remember this is twins as well, so it might be conflicting about to do with love, to do with creativity, to do with money, wealth, making up our minds, but also our emotions. Emotions can be very conflicting. We may not understand our emotions. We may want to, we may not fully understand what exactly is going on. Because again, under full moons, emotions can bubble under the surface. It can be intense. It can be volatile. This full moon can definitely provide some volatility within us, within us as the people. Okay. The second card we have is the High Priestess. Very much a Cancerian card. Very much a card of mystery. Very much a card that there's some things that are buried, like secrets. I feel that there's some things that are definitely going to be coming out for all of us. It's funny that this card came out, actually, this Cancerian card. And, I feel that things are going to be revealed. It's like it's saying things will be revealed in due time. This card is saying that timing is everything as well. That's why we have to bide our time. If we try to push, we'll get resistance. But if we just sort of try to go with the flow, all will definitely be revealed. This card is definitely, I feel a lot of, it's a very feminine card, a lot of feminine energy. So women can play a big part into this full moon. Women in your family, or even if you yourself have like a feminine energy, this can maybe brought out as well. But yes, listen out for that. And the last card that we have is the Ace of Swords. So there's going to be a major breakthrough for us mentally and emotionally. We have mental breakthroughs because this is very much an full moon, very much an eerie time for all of us. Not only is it volatile and quite fiery and stuck, and we're going to have breakthroughs. I feel that there's going to be hopefully I'm feeling resolutions may be resolved. It's not just about, but we have to also be careful because Gemini is a trickster. So we could talk the talk and after not really making any headway. So we have to be very mindful of that, guys. But still, there's going to be new beginnings, like fresh beginnings, like mentally for us. When I say breakthroughs, I feel mentally breakthroughs is that we will come through it. We'll come through the fog because there will be a lot of it. We'll come through any stuckness energy. We'll come through anything that we feel restricted by, anything we feel very constricted by. We will definitely come through. And although this new moon, full moon, is about endings, I feel that this card is also saying there's new beginnings happening for a lot of us. So don't be surprised if you feel extra busy. Don't be surprised there's lots of like meetings going on. Don't be surprised also if there's stuff to do like the social media, internet, contracts as well. Although there might be a lot of talk as usual, things will start moving. Okay. So with that being said, guys, let's get to the signs. Hello, Aries. How are you? So Aries, this full moon in Gemini is in a Gemini house, actually. It's in your third house. You also have the square in your 12th and the opposition in your 9th. So Gemini. So Aries. This one actually, yes, you're going to feel it because the 12th house is never easy. But saying that, you like all the air signs, air signs and the fire signs that for Saggy, you're going to have it pretty good. Okay? So this is about general chitter-chatter communication, short distance travel. There might be a project you're bringing out. It could be a project that you've in college or school. An exam could be finished right now. It could also be doing some short, just coming back from doing some short distance travel. There can be conversations coming out with your neighbors and siblings, all of that. But what it can also bring is some deeper conversations that might make you feel a bit uncomfortable. There may be stuff some of you Aries may want to talk about, but you don't feel that you can get through to people, and people may feel they can't like more or less like get close to you because there's a blockage there. Even some of you Aries that are practicing any type of spiritual work, some self-care, you also may feel that it's not, you can't really get that, you can't feel quite serene. You can't feel the spiritual aspects to it because there might be a lot of stuff playing on your mind. And yes, this can be from the past, or it can be some stuff that you feel that you need to do, you need to complete. Your mind may definitely drift off. It could be about long distance travel. You may want to travel, but there could be some, restrictions there as well. Things could take a little bit longer. This can cause some of you to be quite argumentative. This can cause some of you to be quite sensitive as well. So, what I said in the beginning, if you can Aries, look about what I said, because it very much feels like a Gemini time for you too. So even though there are some good things that's coming up deep down and emotionally, there's some things that are bubbling under the surface for you. The card you have is the Ace of Wands. Beautiful card because this is a fire card. You're ruled by fire. This card is about brand new beginnings happening. Again, this card I feel is about breakthroughs. So I feel anything that is restricting you in any way, especially spiritually and emotionally, mentally, because you're a sign that is very physical. Moving your body, you may not feel you want to do, but even going for like little walks, even going for a swim can help. Again, creativity might be stalled, but you are going to be, this may be the time that some of you may actually get your creative juices flowing. It's not going to come easily, but it will be there. And I feel that some of these themes may be very, maybe avant-garde, but it may be very different to what you're actually thinking about. So you have a really beautiful card, the Ace of Wands. Just know that brand new beginnings are coming, Aries, even though there are some niggles, annoyances along the way. Good things are coming. Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your full moon in Gemini. This is in your house. This is in your second house. This is a house of, I was gonna say debts, loans. Sorry, that's for your opposite Scorpio. This is your house, so a lot of you, sorry, may feel very comfortable, because when Gemini goes into your house, this is when you can sort of expand it could be your building portfolio of your finances. You could also feel very confident in what you are, how you are buying and selling, what you are investing in, But this is a full moon. So some of you may be selling off some stocks, bonds and shares. You could be selling off land. Some of you could be selling off anything to do with agriculture. You could also find that, friends may come to your aid, but some friends may come to your aid because the Saturn, this opposition, the square to your 11th and the opposition in your 6th. Yes, you may, it's not the opposition in your 6th, in your 8th, you may find that there may be I feel that some of you may know who your friends are, and you may know who your friends are not. So I feel that I'm picking up, some of you may have lent money, or you may have invested in a project, it could be a group setting, a group project, or it's probably something to do within a group, and it's definitely to do with your furthering yourself, your talents. And now you're feeling that some people are not as trustworthy as they seem, or you may find that what you've invested in has not really come to full fruition, which can actually make you question, like, is this what I really want in life? Some of you, it may take some of you longer to see, but some of you may decide, what, this is not going to be working. So yes, friendships can go. You may find that you're not as close to certain people in your life as well. But, and also it definitely could be about fears from the past. It could be about fears that you've had through certain people. As you know, friends and money do not mix, Taurus. And I feel that this new moon, you're going to find out a lot now. You can find out a lot of secrets as well. You can also find out some lies. So you may not find this energy really great, Taurus, unfortunately. But on the good side, as long as your mental health is definitely in check. So I feel that some of you who are actually open your eyes to seeing, and any things that's deceiving you, you will see. The card you got is a 10 of Cups. Actually, it's a lovely card for you, Taurus, because the number 10 is about endings. It's also about new beginnings that are happening as well. So, and I feel that anything you're wishing for or wanting, it can come. It just will take a while. People that you want in your life, certain people you want in your life, I feel that fears you will work through, they will start to disappear. But you have to trust. You have to trust in your emotions. And, since this is in your second house, this is to do with self-worth. It's also to do with courage in a way as well. So really trust yourself, Taurus, because it may not be very easy for a lot of you. Hello, Gemini. How are you? So, Geminis, the star of the show, like all the mutable signs, especially if you are early degrees, May. This is double Gemini time. So all Geminis are going to be feeling it, but the early May, you'll feel it the most. So this is in your first house. You have the square to your career and status, 10th house. And you also have the opposition in your 7th. So this is a big one, because it's like what you're seeing, like it's like when you're looking through the mirror, Gemini, what you're seeing may not actually be true. What you're saying also could actually not be true. This is a full moon to work on yourself, work on the mental, physical, and emotional, letting go of any bad habits, letting go of any. It could be you clean out your drawers, just clean out your closet, as Eminem said, and just trying to start fresh. This also does pertain to your career. So there could be a change there. There could be a big change with you wanting, you could be settled, but now you're seeing that, all is not what it seems. Remember, Saturn in your 10th house it can be very dodgy, especially if you are not being honest, especially if you're playing games, especially if, because remember, it's ruled by Neptune, so there can be some deception, not necessarily from you, but it could be from bosses. So I feel that if you are deceiving in any way, Gemini, this will be found out. But also I feel that because this is to do with superiors, I feel that if there's any double talk going on from them to you or anyone else, this will also be revealed. So some of you may be having like this popcorn moment and just watching the fireworks just blow off. The fact that this is in like the 10th house is the house that's being seen. Your partnerships also are coming to full fruition. But Mars in your 7th as well is like, there can be some power battles going on in your partnerships. And it definitely can be work partnerships as well. The 7th house is like an open enemies thing. So that's another thing you have to be careful of. Some of you may feel that you're just getting like all these guns pointed in your area, or or you're surrounded just by drama, and it may not be your own making, Gemini. Just definitely keep your wits about you. This is definitely a tricky full moon, but again, this is about leaving, so there can be dissolvement of partnerships. It can be very fast, it can be very furious, there could be some drama and arguments. It can be a dissolvement within your career because you might feel stuck. You might feel that you just can't live your best life, and you might feel that certain higher up are just holding you back, and you just don't want that anymore. So it's time to make that break. So the card you got is the Knight of Cups, and Knight of Cups are about messages. So you could have like some eureka moment. You could hear about another job. Your boss. I don't feel that a lot of bosses in that could help. I feel some of them could, but I feel that a lot of you may hear through the grapevine about this new job, or you may decide, what, you've had enough, or but there's some dissolvements being made, and there's also some new beginnings happening within your career, but also within yourself. Actually might be a very psychic time. Some of you may come into some psychic ability, not come into, but your mind might be showing you things in the future, and you may think, that's a bit strange. I don't believe that, and if it actually happens. So be mindful of that, Gemini. But also just know that it's an open time of revealing. I think all the signs, especially like all the mutables, you're going to see a lot of revealing things, and it may shock some of you. It may not shock. But the Knight of Cups is actually a good card. It's about good messages coming your way. It could be about love as well. Your career may be topsy-turvy, but your love life could actually be thriving. It could be more passionate, more sexy, more, it's not going to be about its drama, but it could be thriving. You may even be more open emotionally, that, what, I really love you, or I have feelings for you, and, or even your partner, you might be waiting for your partner to say it, so again, one thing could be crazy, another thing could not, So yeah, interesting times. Hello, Cancer. So Cancer, this new moon is in your 12th house. This is a house that a lot of you don't play about in. This is a house where I feel a lot of you Cancers, you got the opposition square to your 9th and an opposition in your 6th house to Mars. And this is a 6th and 12th house action going on. It's never, again, I've always said, and I think a lot of us tarot and astrologers say it, 6th and 12th houses are never easy. They are not easy. They can be very bothersome. It can be very challenging. But that's if you're not prepared to do the work. And all signs find it hard with this. But still, you sort of manage to get through it. So I think for you, Cancers, I feel that a lot of you want to rest. Yes, there's a lot to do because we're coming up to Christmas season. We're coming up to the holidays. We're coming up to, people have to work and buy presents. But I feel that some of you may want to really work on releasing any stagnation in your life. And this definitely could be like, or I feel that some of you may want to like do some spiritual work. Spiritual work is very cleansing anyway. This full moon, I feel for you Cancers, is great to be doing Epsom salt baths, doing like shadow work, smudging. Also, because it can be still busy for you, even if it's the 12th. You could like think in your rest and your mind's just going crazy. Like, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I've got to see these people, I've got to see that. But this full moon is urging you in a way to just try and relax. It's not going to be easy, Cancer. With Gemini ruling your 12th, natally, it can bring on so much things to do with the mental health that it's never easy to come down from. So all these like shadow work, cleansing work, I feel will help. You also may feel very, very tired as well. The square to your 9th house, it can bring you, in a way, it can make you still feel busy, but you also want some solitude. So if you're looking to like heal yourself or cleanse yourself in any way again, it's great to be reading books, learning a new language. When you're having that time to yourself, try to learn something higher that can benefit you. And work might be very busy too. There can be some clashes with people at work because you may, sometimes Cancers, you want to work and you've got bosses or employers asking you to do this and do that because they know that you can. That might come up. You may want to like get away from work. You may want to do another job. There can be some changes within your job, but you may want to do less. That can come with a clash with people you work with. So yeah, I feel that if you're lucky enough to work from home, I feel some of you may actually want to take this time to be alone from people. Even sometimes your family, but especially people, because it can just feel too much for you, this full moon. The card you got is a Hermit card. And you really couldn't make this up, Cancer. You really couldn't. The Hermit card is about listening to the self, but it's also a Virgo card. It's also about, I feel a lot of you are going to be wanting to be, again, by yourself, doing some shadow work, taking care of yourself, eating like soups and, taking care of like your physical body as well. Listening to, I don't know, the sea, learning and getting yourself ready, organized before the full moon goes into your house. So I will say just try and take it easy, Cancer. It's not going to be easy because I feel that some people may want to see more of you, and even if you want to see less of them. So yeah, try and take it easy. Hey Leo, how are you? So Leo, you may enjoy this new moon, or it may be very up and down, but regardless, because you're a fire sign, it really benefits you. This new moon is in your 11th house, and yeah, it's a nice one. When anything goes to your 11th house, it's nice because this is where you can release any project you're working on. There can be changes within friendships. You could be meeting up with friends, networking. But I do see some of you like releasing a project. You got the square to your 8th and also it's in your 5th. So yeah, it feels actually very much a creative time. Mars opposing your 5th. Can it bring drama? Yes, it can. It can bring drama with you, with children. If you've got children, there can be some flare-ups. If you are doing things too fast, going really head in, because you're ruled by the fifth house anyway. So yeah, it can bring some definitely some fears can come up with, you know, how much you're earning. Do you owe money to anyone? If you're going to be investing in any type of project, you may feel that, oh, I don't have enough, or you may overspend. This is a time to be looking at your expenses and looking at any fears that come up, like, are you good enough? Is your friendship good enough? Are you good enough to be in this group? Is your goals high enough? Because you could be putting a lot of pressure on yourself, Leos, in this full moon. But all in all, there is some fun that comes up. I don't see anything too negative. Obviously, the square to your eighth, it can definitely bring up, you know, emotional fears to do with money and debts and loans, especially if friends owe you money as well, and, you know, if you owe money too, but also fears about emotional stuff, but definitely connected to your social life and your creativity. The card you have is the Devil cards. This is this is a Capricorn card, but it's also about what you are willing to. I feel that some of you are actually willing with this full moon to work on bringing that lioness or that king lion out, and not feel too dredged up in the past in any way. If there's any friends or anyone that's hurt you, Leo, this full moon can bring it up, but it's also for you to purge it, not live in it. Again, friendships can be tested here, but not in such a harsh way, but it depends on what is actually going on in your life. Again, money and friendships don't go. If you are investing in an organization or a group, just be mindful. And also, I feel that with some of you Leos, know that you may not be getting the money back, especially if it's an organization. Really think about what you want to invest in. Because again, you may not get it back. But the Devil card is showing you there is something, again, it's like what I said, there's a willingness or an unwillingness not to hold on to something that is outdated. The eighth house is at Scorpio, and that can make us still hold on, you know, and this card just says that as well. So yeah, a lot of thinking to do. Also, don't forget to have fun, Leo. Don't forget to have fun. Mars in your fifth house. Yes, again, like I said, it can cause some drama, but you still can have fun. Okay. Hello, Virgo. How are you? So, Virgos, especially you August Virgos, you're going to feel this big time. Oh, God. This is in your 10th house. This is career house. This is big time. You got the square to Saturn in your 7th of relationships, business and personal. And you also have the opposition to Mars in your 4th. So you got like a T-square going on, a mutable T-square thing going on. Like all of the mutable signs. This is not an easy triangle. T triangle. Because it can cause friction, arguments, drama, chaos within all sectors. You know, this is about how you're seen to the world. So there can be some frustrations that come up, Virgos. I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to your career, there may be an unsatisfactory vibe going on. There may be a clash with boss, clash with your superiors, a clash in your relationship. You know, your relationship, you know, some of you may be putting your all into your work because your relationship is not going too well. I feel if some of you are trying to work on your relationship, your partner, or even you yourself may not be forthcoming. There could be an element of coldness on either side. There may be no resolution. There may be even at home, there could be drama at home because I don't know, things are not perfect in your eyes. Things are not, you know, and you come home from work, the dishes are not washed, or, you know, the kids haven't done their homework if you have any, or, you know, there's paint dripping, there's so much, you know, and I feel some of you Virgos may just feel that nothing is working, nothing is going your way, nothing is right. You're just bored, fed up, angry, sad. Some of you could even feel really down as well. You may want time out. You may want to spend time by yourself, but it's really hard because, you know, you Virgos are here on this earth to be needed, to help people. If it's not your boss asking you to do this and stay late, it's your partner wanting more from you, or they're not forthcoming, or it's family and home drama. Okay, so obviously something will have to give. It may be a case that you may either change your job, or you may just, you know, cut your hours in order to really work on your relationship with family and home. Or if it's the relationship that is not going right, you may cut that and just concentrate on trying to, you know, figure your career out, you know, figure your career and your home life. Or you may just cut both and just figure out your home life. You know, there could be, some of you may even want to move, like move where you are, because, you know, life is just very stressful. When it comes to your card, you have the Three of Cups, and this card is actually really nice. It's like good news is coming. So good news will be coming, and it could be from, you know, your siblings, someone in your family. You could hear good news, like it could be like a new job you're getting, which actually eases the pressure at home. You could be signing a new contract. You could be moving home. You could be, you know, your partner could be like, okay, I can see that things just getting too much. Or even if you've got kids, they could be like, let's help a bit more. You know, so it ease the pressure off mum or dad. This card is saying things will work out, even though you have a mutable T square, which is not easy, Virgos. This card is showing you that things will work out. One of the three, some things may come all at once, but then sometimes when things rise up and crashes, something does rise from the ashes as well. And this is the card that's going to be saying it. So good things will come afterwards, Virgo. Okay? Hello, Libra. How are you? So, Libra, this full moon in Gemini is in your ninth house, which is a great house. You have the square in Saturn in your sixth, and then you also have the opposition in Mars in your third. So what does this bring? It can bring a very mouthy Libra. It could bring a Libra that is, it actually can shock a lot of people, because some of you Libras may be really quiet, really calm, and then out of the blue you just blurt. And I feel this is about you blurting your truth. The ninth house is about belief system. The ninth house is about long distance traveling. It's about different creeds and cultures, also to do with race. Then you've got the opposition in your third, which is about, you know, short distance travel. It's learning, it's journaling, it's anything to do with communication. So you've got these two energies going on, especially with the square to Saturn in your sixth. It's like, I feel a lot of you are going to be, I feel some of you actually may bring out a project. It could be you completing a project, completing a course, completing traveling, long distance travel. Some of you could also be, you know, you could, if any of you are writers, this is a great time. Be bringing out your work. Your work could be shocking to people, because it's like I think a lot of you are spitting facts. It could be about race, it could be about religion, it could be about what's going on in the world as we all know it. It could also be I feel some of you could actually build like a business under this new moon. But as long as you're organized because the Saturn square can make a lot of you quite disorganized. It can make a lot of you feel that, you know, you've got this in the bag, you know what you're doing, you've got all of this work and all these opportunities, but there's just no organization. And this square will, I think, will force a lot of you to really evaluate and think about how you're organizing your life, even what you're saying as well, because you could just blurt things out without thinking. This full moon also in the square to your 6 is about your health and wellness, so taking care of yourself. If you're doing a lot, Libra, which I doubt you won't be, which you will be, really have that time to, you know, be calm, have that time to settle, take care of what you're eating and your working out regime, because some of you may get a cold under this as well because of the high energy. Okay, so the card you have is a 5 of Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles, never an easy card. It's about getting your ducks in a row. You know, it depends on what the reading is. For some people, it might be like, you know, destitute and poor. And I feel for some of you, it's about getting your ducks in a row. You could be spreading yourself very thin under this new moon, Libra. Money can come from different avenues. It can come from your book. It can come from your, if you're a mentor or if you're a teacher. If it can come from any, it can come from many. It can come from you journaling. It can come from you blogging. But you have to make sure that it's all on point. Making sure you're not overspending. Making sure that you know where your money's going. Making sure that, yeah, you know your resources are going. The square to in your 6 is also, again, making you have that critical eye to be a bit more organized, because there may be things that leave your life, i.e. something to do with work and money, and you just don't know because you're not really concentrating. So it is a busy full moon for you, but you just have to be mindful that you're not missing a trick, especially when it comes to your finances. Okay? Hello, Scorpio. How are you? So, Scorpio, this full moon is in your 8th house, which is it's like you, okay? Like Taurus, it's like you. So, this will bring, for a lot of you, you got the square to your 5th, and you also got the opposition, which is in your 12th. So, what this can bring is a mixed bag. It's a mixture of intense sensitivity, intense creativity, but also sort of like, I feel some of you may be figuring stuff out for yourself, like, where am I? Who am I? Hidden fears, hidden dreams, hidden creativity, lots of hidden things I'm picking up with this Scorpio. And you may not be, I feel a lot of you may not be very open to what's going on. You may not be open to revealing certain aspects of yourself. Whenever the full moon is in conjunction, it's really uncomfortable. And a lot of you may feel very uncomfortable under this. Obviously, the square to Saturn may be helping in a way, but you know, the 8th house, your house, is about debts, loans, death, rebirth, things that you need to really, work on, but also clear. So you definitely could be clearing debts. You definitely could be clearing a loan. If there's any contracts or taking long to sign, whether it's through government, a loan, this can actually start moving momentum now. And if you want to invest in anything to do with like spirituality or creativity, I feel that you may have the funds for this now. You may, again, there's some insecurity that comes up, like, oh, it might be too much, I haven't got enough, I may not be good enough. All of these things, it's really time to keep an eye on that. Okay? The Mars in your 12th as well can bring, just be mindful of your dreams. It can bring lots of I was gonna say dangerous, but I'll say, you know, when it comes to your dreams, we've got Mars there. It can bring like violent dreams. It can bring dreams of envy, jealousy. It can bring up the crazy. that we're trying to hide. I feel it's great to analyze these dreams. Mars in your 12th is also about you, preserving your energy, because you may want to do a lot more than your body can handle, even your mind. So under this full moon, take it easy. All the water signs need to take it easy under this full moon because it's not easy energy. The card you have is a Seven of Pentacles. It's about work. A lot of work that needs to be done. The fact that this is in like a financial house, which, you're ruled by. Yeah, I feel a lot of you may be looking at your paperwork and going over things, do like your joint finances with your partner or person you share your finances with. A lot of you may have to put a lot of work in. Like you may have to, if you are wanting to, especially as I was gonna say, if some of you want to like work alone, be an entrepreneur, this full moon may make you like really try and balance the books in order for you to work for yourself, whether it's an artist or anything to do with like working for yourself, something that you enjoy. So yeah, this card is very much about work, but also it's a very spiritual aspect to it as well, because a lot of you may feel you're coming into your own, and you're the phoenix that always rises. Okay. Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your new moon, the Gemini full moon, which is in your 7th house. Of course, especially November, Sagittarius, is you're going to feel this big time because you're mutable. And yeah, this is to do with your relationships, physically, mentally, emotionally, personal. But also, the physical aspects when it comes to yourself as well, like your physical body. You've got the square in your 4th. So there can be, of course, a lot of pushes and pulls, a lot of tension when it comes to themes and relationships to do with your home. Your home dynamics can really change now. What your wants and what your needs are within the family, this can change. This can bring, again, power struggles. It can also bring you to, some of you may want to seek somewhere else to live. You may want to move somewhere more quiet. Themes from the past can really come up. When you was a child, could be definitely to do with your parents. It can feel quite volatile, but essentially it's very emotional. You got a lot of this is very much a T square when it comes to mutable energy. Okay, and it's not easy. You have the opposition to Mars in your 7th house as well. So this definitely can bring tension and drama when it comes to your relationship with your partner. And not just your partner, but it's also people you're in partnership with. Again, the 7th house is to do with people that are seeking, not necessarily to harm, but it's like an open enemies. So, because this is a releasing full moon, I feel that you're going to be starting seeing certain secrets, certain deeds or themes will definitely come out for a lot of you Saggies that, you could have been blindsided by, or you may have had a feeling and it's just like, wow, I'm glad I listened to my hunches. Well, yes, the square to Saturn in your 4th, because Saturn also rules your 2nd, and it also rules your 3rd house. So yes, again, it can be definitely to do with money and property, buying and selling, your self-worth, how you view yourself within the family structure. And are you actually, you could be speaking but not actually speaking your truth. And there may be definitely certain things that come out now, Sagittarius, that, you may have wanted to like keep the peace about, but just things just have to really come out now. The card you got is the Knight of Wands. And of course, Knights are about messages coming through. So, essentially, wands are very creative. It's a very fire sign. And, again, like I said before, I feel that some of you will be opening up more, It's not going to be easy because of the oppositions and the squares. But again, this could be some good news that's coming forth. It could be, families coming. You may have dreaded it, but when they come, certain truths are going to be spoken. Some of you may decide, not necessarily you, but there may be an airing of dirty laundry, not to the world, but like within the structure of in your relationship and your family. There's changes that are happening right now, Sagittarius, within your close personal and business relationships. And this full moon, you will see it. You'll start seeing it more so than others. The fact that Saturn has gone direct as well in your fourth, there's a bit of like momentous move. So again, it could be a move to a childhood home or somewhere closer to your family, but also there needs to be something that needs to be spoken about, needs to be aired out, and it is uncomfortable. It is, that word's starting to grate me, but it can feel it can feel very uncomfortable. It may be a thing of that, you have to go somewhere in order to get peace. And I think this full moon might be the start of it. Okay. Hello, Capricorn. How are you? So, Capricorn, this full moon in Gemini is in your 6th house of work, health, pets, your employment, your routines, general routines. You have the square to your 3rd, and you got the opposition in your 12th. Okay, so a lot of a bit like Cancer, but it might feel a bit more intense with Cancer. It's a bit up and down for you, should I say, because with Gemini ruling your 6th house, you are gonna be, you definitely could be doing, of course you're gonna be busy, but you could be too busy. You could be wanting to do too much. May want to do 2 things at the same time to get work done. Nothing wrong in that, but you have to know how to handle it. And this full moon can bring a lot of pressure on some of you Capricorns into making sure that things are on point. But if we stress ourselves out, that's when mistakes can be made. And the fact that Gemini rules your 6, definitely can happen. You got the square in your 3rd, so this should show me that there can be some stuff that is missing. If you're early degrees Capricorn, like December, you're going to really feel this is going to be a sextile to you. So remember, Pisces is ruled by Neptune, and obviously you're ruled by Saturn. So you may be working on, you may be working on your mind, but you may be working on trying to be very focused, and you could be daydreaming a bit. It could be like, I've got this in the bag, and it's just like, well, where did that go? How comes I missed that? How comes, I've got all this work, I've got more work to do. So it can put a lot more pile of pressure on you to, not necessarily, it is getting the job done, but it's like you're missing things as well. So when that happens, that's when we have to really and truly take a step back, Capricorns, and try to relax, try to do some breath work, like breathing, deep breathing, going for a walk, because the mind is very active, it's very busy, it's also very daydreamy, it can be very forgetful, it can also be very sensitive. You can be picking up things what people say, and you might think it's something else when it's really not. So that's one of the reasons why it's actually good, especially Saturn in your 3rd, to be doing anything that's like to calm the mind down, because the mind is not as sharp, should we say. It's more sensitive, it's more creative, it's more dreamy. Okay, so yeah, it might be a bit of a struggle, this new moon, and also especially with the opposition in your 3rd, Mars in your 3rd as well. It's just like you could be feeling quite lethargic. You might be thinking, I'm really on this, but then it's just like, no, you're not. The card you got is the 4 of Wands, and the 4 of Wands is actually a nice card because it's giving you drive and it's giving you energy. but it's also saying that in the end, you're going to be, you know, because it is a card about celebration. It's like the branches are rising up, you know. So I feel this card is showing me you're going to be getting support. You're going to be getting a lot of support. You know, the sixth house, again, is about your mental health, physical, emotional. So doing some type of form of exercise can really help you as well. You know, so it can just help you just get out that rut you're feeling, help clear your mind. But also, this card is also saying that you will get support. And it could be from family, it could be from friends, it could be from someone at work that you never even envisioned will help you. So, you know, don't be afraid to ask for help, Capricorn, under this time. And also don't forget to take breaks, because I feel that a lot of you may need it. Okay. Hello, Aquarius. Hello, how are you? Welcome to your full moon in Sagittarius. Your full moon in Gemini reading. So, if you're like early degrees Gemini, Aquarius, you're going to feel this. So if you're like January, early, you're going to be feeling this. It's going to trine you. And it's actually a good trine because it's in your fifth house. It's in a house of pleasure. Whenever I think of pleasure, I always think of pain. But anyway, but it's about pleasure, creativity, children, fitness, entrepreneurship, and so on. So you're going to be, you could be definitely bringing out some creative stuff that you worked on from the past, and now it's come to like full fruition. There could be themes to do with kids. If you've got kids yourself, you know, they could have like finished like a course or finished a project that they're bringing out. You may be hanging out more with your children. If you want to be an entrepreneur, this is a good time to bring in any type of project out as well. You got the square to your second in Saturn, so money may feel not as forthcoming. You may feel that you need to really get down and dirty to earning your money, whereas like, you know, savings, and because there could be a lot of money going out and not enough coming in. And also with because you're traditionally ruled by Saturn, so you may feel this like, I need to like sort of like tighten my belt. I need to, you know, work out like a budget. I need to, you know, because you may be wanting to like, you know, when you're doing creative work, you may have to pay for stuff. Like if you're doing like crochet work, you're doing sewing, if you're joining like an acting group, or it's money. So it's about prioritizing the real thing, prioritizing the things that are more passion than not, that are not more frivolous. So I feel a lot of you may be doing that, but also, you know, your kids may want to do things as well, or some of you may be preparing for birth a new project, but also birth yourself. So it's like, I need to like, you know, not spend too much, sort of rein things in, watching out for your investments as well. You have the opposition in Sagittarius, in Mars in your 11th. So this, of course, can bring some drama with friends. It could bring some, especially if they owe you money. Or you're not spending enough time with them because you're concentrating on your goals. You're concentrating on your creativity. You're concentrating on things that are passionate to you. So maybe a case of like, sort of like push and pull, like, why don't you spend more time with us? Why don't you just join us in this crusade? And, you know, what about, you know, let's do these goals together. It could be a lot of that, but not so harsh for you, Aquarius. You know, the card you got is a 10 of Pentacles. And it's a nice card. You know, it's like, I feel that this card is saying if you prioritize the real thing or the right thing under this full moon, you know, you can get rewards. You can definitely get rewards. Things can start building. This card is about foundations as well. So, you know, I feel it's great that some of you are actually taking your talents and dreams very seriously now and prioritizing the right thing and not just on things to please other people. That's one of the reasons why I feel that some of you may get a lot of it's not drama, but some tension within a group or your friends, because you may be hanging out with different people and, you know, they might feel a bit left out, and even like your goals may be very different to theirs. So yeah, but things are changing for you for the better, this card is saying. And keep at it, keep doing what you're doing, because rewards will come in the end. And if you are looking to build like a legacy, now's that time. Hello Pisces, how are you? Last but not least, but you're very, very patient. So this new full moon in Gemini is in your 4th house. You got the square to your 1st and the opposition in your 10th. So Pisces, you are life-changing things have happened already, hasn't it, Pisces? Let's not lie. Since Saturn's been in your sign, the last time it happened was 30 years ago. So, things have come full circle for you. And this full moon is going to bring stuff up. It's going to bring stuff from the past. It definitely could be to do with parents. It could be like past childhood friends. Things that you've buried, things that you've kept hidden, things you don't want to think about. You want to live in this dream world, Pisces, and this full moon is like, nope, you've got to figure this out. We've got to do this. The 4th house can be very busy as well, like especially in the home. I've noticed that a lot of Pisceans have become, new parents, So if you are, or if you're thinking about it, should I say, because Saturn on like the descendant, it can bring, pregnancies or, thinking of families. I think some of you are, this full moon is showing some of you may, some of you could give birth, but some of you may be, just preparing your home, like fixing it up, nesting, or some of you could be moving as well. And obviously the square to your 1st, it can bring challenges, so try and like really try and take care of yourself, look after yourself. Try not to, push yourself too much. You don't, because Saturn's on the physical, it can bring, remember it rules the bones and the muscular structure. So just be mindful of that. But yeah, with the 1st and 4th house, these are cardinal houses that's going on for you. And you've got a cardinal square. Actually, I was going to say Pisces. You've got a cardinal triangle square. And these it's very important time that's happening, especially with you in your career. So home, I feel that you're very much in demand in your career, Pisces. But some of you may not want to like pursue certain goals, certain dreams, because it depends what's going on in your life. This is a general. Some of you may just want to just make hay and home, and you may not want to, some of you may be ambitious, but you may be ambitious for family. You may be ambitious because you want to take things easier, or even like you yourself physically, you could be feeling things are a bit more slower now, and it could be many things as well. But I do see like there's some changes that are happening within the career sector. Changes within the job. You could decide, I don't want to work full-time no more, I want to do part-time. Or your position, like in terms of promotions, could change. And some of you may be happy with that, but deep down might be a case of, I just want to stay home, I don't want to do too much, I want to stay with my family, or I want to get married. A lot of things are changing, Pisces. Okay, the card you have is the Page of Wands, and this is bringing, it's actually a lot of wands happening here, but this is like, it's like a brand new fresh energy that's coming for you, Pisces. If you're feeling like quite lethargic, you feeling, because Saturn can bring feeling, you can be feeling old. Saturn can make you feel that you don't want to do too much. You feel not necessarily depressed, but you just feel like, I just want to make things just stay sort of the same. I don't want to do too much. This card is showing you that this energy, you might have a bit of an energy burst. Like, you might feel a bit more confident to change stuff within the home. Might be more confident to say how you feel to your parents. Confident how you even to your partner. You may want to do some physical changes within yourself. But also, even with your career as well. Because this is a cardinal time. Cardinal triangle square that's happening. So there's a lot of like changes that are happening, and this card is just saying, you're going to be making those changes. Some of you can be quite reckless in it, but regardless, change is coming. Okay. So Pisces, you're the star of the show. Big changes happening. Let me know. And guys, that is the Gemini full moon for all of the signs. Thank you so much for listening. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, let me know how this full moon has gone for you. Okay. And thank you very much for my subscribers and my old subscribers and new subscribers. And thank you very much for your comments. And I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.